I was still standing in the parking lot of the bank when my phone buzzed. An unfamiliar number, no name, just a fragment of a life I no longer belonged to. I didn't answer, not because I didn't want to, but because I already knew who it was. Her timing was predictable, always calling when she sensed I might be breathing without her permission. The divorce papers were barely dry. Her signature sat there, sharp, elegant, and merciless, like a blade pressed against my throat. She had thrown me out of our glass-walled house with the same casual indifference she used to discard expensive handbags. "Leave the keys," she'd said. No emotion, no hesitation, just a quiet execution. So I left, with nothing, not even dignity. By the time I reached the bank, the air felt heavier, like the world was leaning in, waiting for something to break. I handed the banker the dusty old card my mother left me, a relic from a life before her. The banker slid it into the machine, then stopped. His face drained of color, turning the shade of someone who'd just witnessed a crime. "Sir," his voice cracked, "Sir, quickly, look at this." He spun the screen toward me. Numbers, zeros, too many to process in one breath. My pulse didn't spike, my hands didn't shake. Instead, I felt something else, a shift, like the floor beneath my life had quietly moved, revealing a path I hadn't known existed. And that was when the phone buzzed again. I let it ring. Her betrayal hadn't shocked me, not really. Infidelity had a scent, quiet, damp, metallic, like rain settling on old wounds. She thought I never noticed the late-night texts she hid under the pillow, or the way her laughter changed around certain names, or how she showered twice on days she claimed she stayed home. What struck me wasn't the cheating, it was the precision of her cruelty, the way she orchestrated my downfall, freezing accounts, rerouting assets, painting me as the unstable one. She didn't just leave me, she erased me. And I accepted it with the same calm resignation a condemned man shows when he realizes the rope has already been tied. But the account my mother left, I had forgotten about it, dismissed it as sentimental junk. Now it stared at me like a ghost resurrected. I walked out of the bank without speaking. The phone rang a third time. This time, I answered. Her breath trembled on the other end, as if she already felt something slipping from her grasp. "Where are you?" she asked. Her voice, once soft enough to drown in, now sounded like a brittle mask she could barely hold together. "Busy," I said. I hung up before she replied. That was the first moment I realized she was afraid. The next days passed in calculated silence. I didn't confront her, I didn't return her calls, I didn't acknowledge the messages layered with faux concern. Instead, I observed, quietly, cleanly. I revisited old transactions, hers, not mine. Traced digital footprints she thought she had erased. Found the dates her lies began long before the marriage had cracked. Then I uncovered something deeper. Documents, transfers, signatures. Her lover's name entwined with her finances like a parasite burrowed under skin. And a detail so sharp it nearly cut me. Before she filed for divorce, she tried to access that old account, my mother's account, the one she never knew existed. Which meant someone else told her, someone close, someone she trusted. And the moment I realized who it was, everything aligned. Her lover didn't want her. He wanted my inheritance. She was just the courier, a beautifully wrapped weapon. And when the banker turned pale that afternoon, it wasn't the money that stunned me. It was the realization that I had something they'd both tried and failed to steal. Control. When the final documents arrived, full reports, timelines, proof, I held them like a surgeon holds a scalpel. Precise, cold, necessary. I invited her to meet. She arrived in a hurry, breathless, wearing desperation like perfume. "What's going on?" she whispered. I slid the folder across the table. No explanation, no emotion. She opened it. Her pupils contracted. Her throat tightened. Her hands trembled the way mine never did. You knew?" I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Truth doesn't require dialogue. It simply stands. Her face collapsed under the weight of it all. Guilt, fear, the sudden understanding that her performance was over. I didn't reach out, didn't comfort her. Compassion belonged to the man she destroyed, and he no longer existed. I leaned back, studying her like a specimen pinned beneath glass. She tried to speak, but every word died before reaching air. "This isn't what you think," she whispered. I let the silence press against her until she broke under it. Then I delivered the final cut. I moved the money. Her eyes widened. All of it. A pause, a breath, a quiet severing. And you can't touch a cent. Her lover had already blocked her. I knew that. I'd seen the digital fallout. She wasn't just losing me. She was losing everything she gambled my life for. Her mouth opened in a silent plea. I stood. Goodbye. Not dramatic, just final. The kind of final she never believed I was capable of. I walked out into the evening air, cool, steady, indifferent. The world felt lighter, sharper, honest. I wasn't healed, I wasn't redeemed, but I was free. Not because I won, but because I no longer needed revenge to breathe. Some truths don't break you, they release you. And as I stepped into the quiet night, one thought settled with the clarity of a blade sliding into place. Losing her wasn't the tragedy. Trusting her was. And I would never make that mistake again.